Ding.
Hello. Not too bad. Let's see. Yeah, I need to turn that down a little bit. Audio. So it won't feed back.
Oh, that's good. Let's see here. That looks 30,485. All right. Well, I guess that's our current total. And welcome back.
Okay, I think I figured it out.
What it turned out to be.
The site was muted for some reason at the
Huh.
tab at the top.
Okay.
So I was hearing other audio just fine, but not y'all. And I was like, what's going on?
We were miming. Yeah, but as you suspected, but yes.
I didn't know if y'all were both saying, hey, can you hear me? I can't hear you. You might have all been saying the same thing.
And yay, there we go. That's a candidate for voice cancellation. Say the same thing simultaneously and confuse the algorithm.
Right.
Well, how are things in your neck of the wood?
Not bad. We have a 3-day weekend. Monday is off.
Mm-hmm.
How's
Probably
your
just
new teleworking job?
I haven't started it yet. Yeah, they've got whatever process they're going through, and that's one of my frustrations dealing with these folks is communication.
I could tell by the eye roll.
I was originally going to work for these folks back in July last year, but I talked to them in June, and they said, okay, yeah, we think everything's cool. And then I didn't hear from them for 3 weeks. And I was thinking, everything's not cool. So I just did other things. I said, okay, I'm going to go try to do this or that.
Yeah, I just recently got a response from a job I applied for back when I first moved to Virginia.
Yep.
It's 2 years later?
And that's another thing about these. Yeah, I've put in for a lot of jobs over the past few months. And no joke, probably upwards of 50. And a large number of them just say, nah. Okay, really? Okay, whatever. But some of them don't say anything at all. And occasionally those are like you, in your case. I had one that came back from 3 months ago and said, oh, yeah, remember that application you put in? Yeah. You still interested? Which would be great if I weren't waiting for this other outfit to get their act together. Okay.
I remember when I accepted
comedy
this job,
of errors.
It was like, it was a 3-month delay before they would start. So I had accepted the job and okay, we'll start you in February. And this was like, December of the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, of course, like 2 other people reach out to me. Hey, you want this job? I'm like, I already accepted another job. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
But it was like dead space for 4 months before all that.
What in the world? Is that winter storm already there?
It's supposed to hit here at Sunday night.
Yeah.
Eric's just on a tour.
Yeah. He's trying to find a place to settle down.
Someplace.
They all look. No,
that's a good one.
I was going to say I like that one. No.
Been playing a little bit of Icarus lately. It's Valheim, but in space.
So what do you think?
It's enjoyable. I think you would enjoy playing around in it for a little while, a couple weeks.
It's not worth buying, fresh new game for that though.
Yeah, but it's pretty neat. It's like I guess you live in space. You don't really deal with that part, but you take a little shuttle down to the surface, and you start off with nothing, and you have to go just like Valheim, gather scraps to make the rudimentary tools, and you start building up, and usually have some kind of objective, like to survey something or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you complete your objective and you go back up, you get paid some space bucks, and you can use your space bucks to research cooler stuff. And next time you go down, start all over again.
Why do you have to start all over again if you've got your space bucks? Gosh,
it's how they settle the persistent server problem, like things like Valheim have. Because you have to have someone remember all the changes to the world and all the buildings you've built. But if you just start from scratch every time, you don't have to have it saved anywhere.
So you're saying it's lazy programmers?
Pretty
even
much.
in the far future, high tech, we're settling other solar systems. We still have lazy programmers.
Yeah.
So you have to start out over every time you do this. Yeah.
And I'm like, so they can afford the fuel of bringing you from orbit to the land and back up just to have you do some kind of small little quest of, look at this plant. Yeah, I looked at it. I'm coming
Go
back pretty much.
shrubbery.
But it's pretty fun building. It's very close to Valheim and how detailed it is. And what's that?
Subnautica.
Oh, is that the one
Subnautica.
where, like, I'm trying to remember, I think you were on an alien world?
Yeah, you start out and the start of the game is the ship you're on crashes on an alien. You turn out to be apparently the only survivor.
Yeah, I think you're like, you end up going to different places where other pieces of the ship are wrecked and getting parts to repair things or something like that. I don't know.
And your ultimate objective is to get off the planet. So
It's like The Martian.
It sounds like a perfectly good planet. There's lots of water, lots of plant life. Yeah.
Oh,
Why would you want to leave?
Did you hear the flat Earth proof?
Oh no, what is the proof of flat Earth?
You know what? Carbonated soda has like a certain amount of bubbles in it,
Yeah, count them every time you drink it.
and if it, when there's not enough bubbles in it, it's considered flat. And since the world is mostly water and it's not carbonated,
It doesn't have a lot of. Don't get that fizz going down unless you swallowed a crab or something. Yeah.
and it's funny because Eric's underwater right now. No bubbles, obviously flat Earth.
We can't see the bubbles. We're just really zoomed out. If it weren't for the bubbles, how would those?
They're flying fish.
Oh wow! I was gonna take a
Did y'all
look.
watch Witcher season 2?
Actually, I did. I binged The Witcher. I don't know, week before last. It's pretty.
one.
That was pretty good. I have played a little bit of the Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, and the problem with jumping in at that point was there's so much going on that there's a lot of story elements I'm missing because I
Oh yeah, it sounded like a wonderful game, but when people started talking about how immense it was and how many hours they play it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna even start.
yeah, I haven't even scratched the surface, and I was realizing I'm just missing stuff because I'm making reactions in there, and the in-game NPCs are saying, why did you do that? It seemed like a reasonable thing to do. Okay, maybe it's not reasonable given the history of this character, but I don't know the history of the character. Okay. So yeah, it's good to watch the
gameplay wise. Witcher 1 is a dumpster fire. Witcher 2 is about halfway between that and a decent game, and then but they both have a lot of lore to them.
And the lore, I think, is really the winner. That's what makes it interesting, and the depth of the world and the way that they texture it.
At least that's what I've heard. I don't know for certain.
And I appreciate that the main character is not the chosen one, in that he gets beaten up and he loses quite a bit. And part of the character is that he's honest about it. Some would be shamed by some of the defeats that he's had, but he's like, nah, that happened. And so, cool. You go. So yeah, I've been impressed by it.
Yeah. And like I said, I like the series. It's a nice way to get a small snippet of it without having to invest
Play
thousands
the
of hours,
games. Yeah. Wrapped up. They haven't seen the last episode, but I've seen the last episode of Expanse. They came out this week, and that was really good. The way that just Expanse in general is great. Sad that they wrapped it up.
Yeah, I've been watching more of the live action Cowboy Bebop, even though I know it's canceled at the end of the season. But they're actually talking about Radical Ed, so maybe they'll make an appearance. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. And I forgot about that.
The way things are going. I thought they were just going to whitewash Ed. And I thought Ed was one of the more interesting characters. So.
Yeah, I had forgotten that they got hints from Ed before they ever met them. Like they would get leads on other bounties and stuff. And that's happening now in the live action. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
There's a lot.
I said it's been a very long time since I've seen that cartoon.
That's one of the things about the original anime is the depth of it. There was stuff like that going on in the background that you may need a rewatch to be able to identify that it was happening.
Like, there's a lot of background
it was
lore,
pretty
like
good.
in the drawings and everything. I think as a younger person, I didn't catch a lot of it, but watching it over, I'm like, wait, okay, that was why that was happening. Okay.
Right, exactly. You know, everything's framed really well. I don't know what sort of turnout we're going to have this evening.
Peg said he wasn't
My
ready.
understanding is Peg wasn't ready, but that he may still show up tonight. I'm not expecting. He just had a really rough week at work. Steven not expecting because I heard from him that he went and did his groceries himself in the rain. Okay. I wasn't expecting him to do that. The thing is, the Walmart pickup canceled all the openings on Sunday, Monday because of the storm. So normally I would go on Sunday, and Steven, if he needed something Walmart, he'd just go at the same time and give him a ride. But I went today, and then he tends not to remember to mention that he needs to go, and doesn't think of it until the last moment. Thought of it at the last moment after I'd already gotten my run today done. And then he said, no, I'll wait till it's dry. And then a few hours later, I hear, oh, I finished it. It's not dry, Stephen. Very much not dry. So I expect he's collapsed in a heap someplace. We'll make a decision as to, whether we want to actually do a game or not here in a bit. I know that we pressed E into service at the last possible moment.
I think we survived the last fight in Tomb of Annihilation. Surprisingly.
Wasn't that the fight with, it was a trap?
Undead,
had,
4-armed gorillas.
Yeah, that's right.
I made Orvex giant.
Go fight them giant Orvex while we go hide behind you.
I was like, hey, he might enjoy being the frontline tank for a while I hide back here.
He seemed to enjoy it quite a bit. Orvex kill until Orvex shrink.
And I have a rules lawyer nitpick for you, Eric.
Okay.
I don't think you can attack while standing on a friend, even if you can move through a friend on a move.
Okay.
I couldn't
Friends
find
don't
it
let friends
word for
attack.
word in the rules. Okay, say you were standing in an alley and no one can get by each other. Can the guy behind you walk forward into your space, attack, and then back up back to his space? And best I can tell from online forums, people say no. You would have to be in an empty space to attack. Because it doesn't make sense to stand there on someone's head attacking. Even if you have enough movement to back up. It really changes the mechanics of a bottleneck.
Yeah. The reach really matters in that case. If you want to be able to attack past somebody, you need to have a reach weapon.
Otherwise that would be no use for it. Because like Peg's character with his fancy reach, was it a halberd? I don't know what he has.
Bardish? I don't know. He has something 10 feet long and it's got a pointy thing on it. So yeah. I don't know how he carries that thing around. For folks that have weapons like that, it's okay. Well, what do you do with it when you're not swinging it? And how the hell do you swing it?
So I really want a video game where you're running around with weapons, and if you have a big two-handed thing like that, they never just stick it on their back. They just always have one hand occupied holding it or something like that. How you would stand with a walking. It is not realistic to put this gigantic two-handed hammer like they did in New World just on their back like it's nothing. Plus those two-handed hammers were crazy in size anyway.
Yeah. I can't imagine anybody being able to pick up something that, with that size of metal. My God, it's probably every bit of 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
What was it, John? What was I thinking of? Oh yeah, I saw a fellow on YouTube. I'm trying to remember his name. Scar. I can't pronounce it. It's Gaelic, I think. Scarligurgum. Anyway, he's a swordsman.
I've seen that guy. I know who you're talking about.
He vaguely resembles, you from the Evil Universe. He's got a goatee, right?
I have that, depending on whether or not I.
Then he'd have to be clean shaven. It's the inverse. It's always the
Mhm.
inverse. Anyway, he was going on about fantasy weapons and MMOs and how would it be realistic to have a two-handed sword in a scabbard on your back,
Oh
and
yeah.
how would you be able to pull it out and wield it like you see them do? It's any MMO. It's just here's your two-handed weapon, like you say, and chink, it's on your back, and there's some like a magnetic clamp that boom,
Yeah.
hold on to it or something like that. But rather, if you didn't have the magnetic clamp or magic or whatever it is holding it there, it was this 5 foot long scabbard. And you got somehow with your 2.5 or 3 foot long arm, depending on your size,
Right.
take this long sword and you're levering it out. You're like,
It doesn't
can't
quite
do it.
work.
So you end up having to hold the blade
Mm-hmm.
as you get it out there. And then finally you get the tip out. Okay, great. Now, if you haven't cut your arms up, I've got my weapon. Now, how do you put it back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a good video.
Yeah, and I saw like someone cosplaying like Matt Mercer on Critical Role. He was cosplaying Geralt from The Witcher, and he had the big two-handed sword on his back, and they were making that joke with him, like how people were saying you can't pull that off. So he was trying to figure out how to do it with just a fake sword, and he had trouble, but he was able to pull it partway out and then lean forward and let it fall out. But
There's
yeah,
my sword. It's on the ground.
it was very true that he couldn't do it that way. You could have something on your back if it's shorter than the length of your arm, but then it's not a two-handed sword.
Conceivably, you could carry a claymore or something like that on your back, but you have to take it off first, like a backpack.
Yeah.
Take it off, and then you take it out of the scabbard, and then you can go.
That's why you have a squire. And the squire carries it around, runs up to you, bends over, and you put your foot on his shoulder and kick him away. And then you're
an armory gnome. Is that what you're saying? It's like, yes, master, I'll grab it. Off he goes with it.
Pretty much.
It's like twice his length, and it's like, drags it back over to you. Hey, my armor, Sancho.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I've seen several videos by that guy.
Oh.
I think he did one on the chainmail, and he was talking about how bad that would be for you.
Yeah, and actually had his wife was very, and she was not happy about it either.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to describe it. Okay, I will do this for you just once. But yeah, what was it? There was some sort of leather that was like her preferred. It's like, this is good. That is bad.
Very realistic. So, if you have soft, fleshy area and someone has chainmail over it, and then there's an impact from something, it just pushes those chain links into the skin. Not a good feeling.
Yeah. Little scissors. Yeah. No fun. But what else has he done? He did comparative fighting styles, and I like watching those videos where he's talking about staves versus axes, how that's actually done. If you had like a theoretical battle between a katana and a Viking wielding a war axe of some sort, how that might go. So interesting stuff. I think he even talked about lightsabers. He really hated lightsabers.
Yeah.
His basic point with lightsabers is just force. Is what protects the force wielders can use it because they use the force not to hurt themselves, but you would hurt yourself. That's the basic problem.
Cedrigan just texted me saying he enjoyed the new Ghostbusters movie.
Hey, Miss Begg, that's a strange backdrop that you got there.
It looks more realistic than normal.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. We're back. It's all good.
I don't hear you.
Not hearing you.
I'm just gonna sync for you. He said, "Hi guys, I got that money I owe you."
No.
What you doing with it?
No. Everything was a black screen until just now.
Oh, okay.
That's just as
So
well.
now it's
We
all
weren't mining any sort of thing. Yeah, that's a problem with making recordings of these things. You can't make that claim.
That's what editing's for.
That's true.
That's true.
You have no idea what I edited out. So I'm not expecting C this evening, and Mr. Pegg could tell us more than most.
Yes. January every year is always rough for us because we take care of, at least here, a large electric company that has lots of satellite locations, and you start early and work late. And he's done the mass majority of these locations out in the element. So I know Thursday because we got caught in the rain, both of us weren't feeling too great, and he went off to do another one Friday. So I'm just all that stress has just probably knocked him down.
Yeah, and I chatted with him earlier, and I was like, oh. So yeah, so RLTG for sure.
Yeah.
And then Steven, similar thing. He overexerted himself today, I think, and I doubt we'll see him. So the question is, did you guys want to proceed with these game with the group that we have here, or do you want to wait for missing two until they feel better? And I'll say I don't have a preference. It's all good.
I lean toward waiting because with that many people missing, and then if E finally succeeds in killing us, they'll be very upset with us.
They missed it. Damn it, they missed it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to catch it on YouTube to see what we did. But it's really all their fault.
That's right. Where were you guys? Oh, we were back here cheering. Okay. That's fine. That's good. That's good.
Adding up the Queen of Feathers.
No. Yeah, I really don't feel like it tonight, guys. I gotta go.
Oh yeah. Oh
Goodness.
all those feathers in my throat. My God. Let's see. You're going to get the better part of the storm that's hitting Tennessee there, Mr. Peg. They're only expecting a couple inches here, but I can imagine you're going to get more.
Yeah. Right now it's just raining, but you know how quickly that can change. And I had to go in on Monday. Yeah, and I had to go in on Monday to our shop just to fix two things, and I'm not looking forward to that. There's a lot of snow.
You just need to, just attach that snowplow to the front of the truck and off you go.
I just tape a kid up there with a shovel. Just hold on to it.
Work real fast.
Keep your mouth closed.
That reminds me of those old dad jokes about, but Dad, I don't want to go to Europe. Shut up and keep swimming.
There used to be a video. It was supposed to be like a trust fall. His son's on a ladder. Do you trust me, son? Yeah, it's scared. Just go on and drop. And the kid lets go, and he turns around and he's like, rule number 1, don't trust anybody.
What in the world is that? Oh, okay. No, we're still looking at the fish here. I just saw. We were discussing, I don't think it's Neff's proof, but Neff was relaying a proof of the Flat Earth Society. And you might go ahead and reiterate that, given what we're seeing with E's backdrop.
Okay, follow along, Peg.
All right.
The Earth is mostly made of what? The surface? Water. Okay, so it's mostly water. And when there's a certain amount of bubbles in the water, it's carbonated, right?
Yes.
But when the carbonation isn't there, what do you call it?
Flat.
There you go. It's flat Earth.
You heard it here, folks.
Proof. Undeniable proof. There was someone... I don't know if he's just done it illegally, but there's a gentleman that was trying to build a rocket and launch himself to X distance high just to prove, there's no curvature.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And they kept getting shut down. People were like, let him do it. Let him do it.
Yeah, I think the only reason they wouldn't let him do it is because he might land on somebody when he comes back down.
Exactly.
Did you hear about the YouTuber that staged his own airplane wreck?
Yes. Yeah, he has received no mercy, which he shouldn't. That's pretty stupid.
He just happened to have cameras on every angle and a parachute on. He didn't know he was going to capture on film his live plane wreck.
Exactly. Just oh my. Thank God I was prepared just in case this might happen.
Complete with selfie stick for while he's jumping out.
I know. Oh my God, these people were just happened to be here with cameras as I landed.
Let's see here. February 24th, 2020. This is from what appears to be a legitimate Australian news site, news.com.au. How could you go wrong? Let's see here. Flat Earth theorist and amateur rocketeer Mad Mike Hughes has died after his homemade rocket came crashing back to Earth in the California desert on Saturday. Mr. Hughes, 64, died when the chute on his steam-powered rocket detached during launch, giving him no other way of safely landing the rocket. Footage posted to social media shows the rocket crashing back to Earth 20 seconds later. A small puff of dust, the only sign of the impact.
So he did launch, he just didn't land.
What they don't tell
Oh,
you
he
is
landed.
No.
why-
He did land. He just landed he landed with extreme force.
and he didn't die from the impact. He died from a broken heart when he realized the Earth was curved at the height of his ascent.
he actually sabotaged his own parachute so he didn't have to tell the truth. I can't bear to be wrong, so I'm just going to crash.
Oh, here's the real tragic part of it, though. Mr. Hughes once told AP the flat Earth storyline, along with his age, the launch location, and the do-it-yourself rocket construction, was a part of what made the effort so incredible as a story, but did say the problem with the flat Earth theories was that it brings out all the nuts. His former PR rep, Darren Schuster, told the Los Angeles Times the flat Earth thing was a PR stunt dreamt up by the pair. I don't think he believed it, Mr. Schuster said, but allowed that Mr. Hughes had some governmental conspiracy theory problems. So, died for a PR stunt.
Strange times.
Yeah, no kidding. Man, oh man. Yeah, E, I think we'll leave you off the hook. So, thank you for being willing to pitch in and preparing. That way, you don't have to prepare when it comes around your turn naturally in 2 or 3 weeks. You're just ready to go.
You can forget about the Queen of Feathers by accident if you want.
I'm not. I'm gonna have nightmares
Queen of
now.
Feathers is not that big of a deal. I'm
She's
telling
just
you,
big.
the Queen of Feathers is not that big of a deal. The Daughters of Feathers now.
Nightmares. Definitely nightmares. Alrighty. Gang, we'll go ahead and just enjoy the night off, and great talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name of it? I didn't know there was a new
Ghostbusters.
Afterlife.
Okay, I'll look for it. But I haven't seen a Ghostbusters movie in God knows how long. So yeah, I'm willing. I'm ready for one.
I'm hearing
Anything to put my mind off of the Daughters of Feathers.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get. I guess I'll see if I can get back in and do some more MSQ and Final Fantasy.
At least you'll be Q fighting. So it wasn't that bad. I got on this afternoon a little bit, and it was only 54. The Q was 54 at 2 p.m. And it's been like hundreds and thousands anytime on the weekend. So it's gotten a lot better. But it's still most popular MMO out there right now.
Yes.
The joke running is that they had the advertising campaign, and they were posting. They had all the social media. You could play the award-winning MMO up to level 70 and complete all these storylines without paying anything, and they're trying to get people to play. And now and they announced that they were going to stop all advertising for the game for the time being.
I said, please stop. We're glad you found us. Now go away. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have plans for server expansions that are a firm timeline, but they're still looking like July, August this year before they're going to be able to expand. It's just, yeah, as you said, crazy times.
I think I saw something the other day that the physical part of the new data center is installed and in place, I think.
Which makes you wonder what's going on. There must be some other provisioning thing. They have to have a fairly a lot of bandwidth going in there, so that might be one thing going on. That's interesting. I didn't know that detail. But in any case, it's a problem like this. If I needed hell, the school's entire complement of switches and servers and such, I could order it and have it in 2 or 3 weeks 6 years ago. And that's a lot of stuff. I dare say that that's more involved in what it goes into these servers. Looking at lead times of 6 to 8 months, that's just phenomenal. But it is what it is. All right, have fun with the main story quest. Fight.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a great evening. Take care. Be safe.
Okay.
Nice seeing y'all. Y'all have a good night.